Trek Domane 2020. Let's take a good look. So I think this is an interesting bike because Trek makes it, and it's of course their endurance platform, and they redesigned it completely for 2020. But the thing is, what's different about this one is apparently they say in a wind tunnel it's 1 minute per hour faster, and of course some people are gonna say, man, who cares, it's an endurance bike, like why do I care how fast it is? But I guess they're like, oh, well, you know, they copy off the Madone a bit and it's more aero. So I mean, I guess that's good, and I guess they contributed that to this cable routing. It's actually really beautiful the way they route all these cables, and it looks so neat and tidy. So I definitely like that feature, it's pretty cool. Now these wheels, like the tires, are pretty wide. Like it can fit a 38mm tire, but I guess it comes stock with 32s, and their bontrager's new like R3 wheel, and it's like French flag on it. I mean, it's kind of cool, but then they're like, oh, you could do 35s and then put fenders on it. But I mean, I feel like you could put fender mounts, but I feel like you can put fenders on like whatever hell size wheel you want. Like I wouldn't really see why not, but that's just the way I'm looking at it, if you know what I'm saying. So next, I guess they got this new type of like isospeed technology, which has been around, you know. They released the whole Domane range in 2012. My dad actually has I believe it's a 2016 Domane 5 series. And it's sort of like the mid-range, like the Ultegra and stuff. But with this isospeed technology, they actually mount it on the top tube, the bottom of the top tube, and I guess you can unscrew it and adjust it. And this is for the SL and the SLR models, which I guess makes sense. And like, you know, they say it's like a 27% smoother ride and everything. You know, I guess, you know, when you make it more comfortable in the rear and all that. But the thing is, I want to talk about the alloy versions really quick, because I see in the alloy versions, you know, you don't really have the technology, and you don't have that compartment in the bottom, which is like really cool. You don't have that. You don't have the isospeed technology in the AL, which I completely understand, because like take a look at Specialized range. You have the Roubaix, which I guess would, you know, compare with the Domane. So the Roubaix, you know, you have the Future Shock 1.5 and Future Shock 2.0, which is pretty much like suspension, the headset, you know, which the Domane does have as well, but they're like really more focusing on the isospeed in the rear and how you can adjust it. So I guess that makes sense, because I don't really see Specialized doing a lot of like, I don't know, a lot of like technology like that would be the right word, with their like lower level bikes. Like I see mid-range to top range, you know, when you get to the SLs and stuff, or when like the Roubaix Sport, or you know, the Roubaix Comp. That's where you see like a lot of all these technologies coming in. But like that whole thing with the tube, like inside the whole head tube, the bottom tube, right? Like they keep all of this, they keep this sort of roll of tools, and they have an integrated multi-tool, which is so great because it frees up the rear seat post, so you can mount the light there, and for safety. So it's like really important. And Trek's, what I like is they're really big on so the optimal like daytime running lights. Like, it's really important for the cars to see and stuff, and you don't have to carry some type of like weird looking like seat post bag or anything like that. So I think it's such like a cool and innovative technology that they did that. Like I said, you can only get that sort of thing on the SL models and the SLR, but I mean, it's really cool even for the SL5. And the SL5 is like some cool colors. You got like this purple, the purple and the red, like those look really hot. And I was looking at the blue, and the blue just looks a little muted for me. Maybe it'll look like cool in person, because blue's my favorite color. But I like more of like a baby blue, if that makes sense. So another thing like I really want to talk about, it's like the bottom bracket, if you know what I'm saying. Which is pretty much that part of the bicycle where all the tubes connect to the very bottom. And it can be actually one of the most beautiful parts of the bicycle, just where like everything connects. And what you have there is you have just T47, and then you have a larger sort of bottom bracket shell, so they could internally run the cables like through the frame. I believe that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it was like through the frame. And that's actually really cool, because like you keep everything out of the way, and I like that. It's so elegant and beautiful, and I can understand why that would make it a bit more aero. You don't have all those like weird wires hanging around. But I mean, the only thing that sucks is when you gotta fix something, you gotta like pull all the wires out, and like it's not gonna be fun, but I mean, sure looks pretty. One other thing I wanted to talk about was in this one person's video, like I saw this like super cool color. It's like this sort of purple cosmos, and it's so pretty, like in all the different reflections when you look into it. Like they really have some cool colors available. Like I just I want to see some colors that stand, like maybe those colors stand out. It's just good to have like really high vis colors. Like the Amanda, like starting out had like more cool colors, and then, you know, they had all these. Now would I have one? Like honestly, it's like really cool. I'd definitely like to ride one of them. I'm actually gonna take my dad's out for it, but he said I could. It's like a 2016 Domane 5 series. But the thing is, I'm just training for that thing, that 100-mile thing to the White Mountains on my bike, so I just want to stay on that for right now, just so I'm used to it and everything. And then after that, I'll probably take the Domane out and stuff, and it'll be really cool. So like, I'm super excited about that. I don't know, it's weird, because like, I'm looking at the Amandas, and they're kind of like a climbing bike, and people tell me I'm just a really good climber, so I don't know, I'm definitely looking at like the Amanda SL5. I don't know, there's something about the Specialized Roubaix that's like, I don't know, it seems pretty cool. That whole Future Shock thing, maybe I'm just like a noob or whatever, but it seems really cool. I rode a Diverge with a Future Shock technology in it, but I don't know, I mean, I'm thinking I'll probably end up going with an Amanda, but I'm gonna wait a bit. But the Domane, like, I'm definitely jealous. Like, I love that feature where you can store like all your different like multi-tools and like all the different like the flat kit. Like, that's so cool. I mean, it's such a cool bike, and I'm definitely excited to see them out there and maybe get to test ride one. So it's really awesome. So thank you guys so much, and as always, love you.